You watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi emplains for New Delhi after an outcome-oriented visit to Singapore, says his fruitful visit to Singapore will add vigour to bilateral ties. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses India-Singapore Business Roundtable meeting, appreciates their investment footprint in India. President Vladimir Putin says that Russia aims to keep pumping gas via Ukraine to the EU, but says Moscow cannot force Ukraine to extend its transit agreement beyond December 31st. Second stage of polio vaccination campaign gets underway in southern part of Gaza. Health officials aim to reach 640,000 Gaza children for vaccinations. So after concluding his visits to Singapore and Brunei, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has left for India. Prime Minister Modi in his social media post on X said that his visit to Singapore has been a very fruitful one. It will certainly add vigour to bilateral ties and benefit the people of both the countries. The Prime Minister of India thanked the government and people of Singapore for their warmth and hospitality. Earlier, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the India-Singapore Business Roundtable meeting on Thursday. Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim Yong and Minister for Home Affairs and Law K. Shanmugam of Singapore also participated in the event. The Prime Minister appreciated their investment footprint in India and commitment to leverage India's economic growth. He encouraged them to further contribute to India's growth story. The business leaders shared their growth, positive business experience in India, and ideas for future business collaborations, including in Gift City, new industrial parks and green projects. A new chapter has been written in India-Singapore ties with the establishment of a comprehensive strategic partnership. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Singaporean counterpart Lawrence Wong held a bilateral meeting in Singapore on Thursday. The two leaders reviewed the bilateral relationship. They called for expanding the trade and investment flows between the two countries. The two sides reviewed cooperation in defence and security, maritime domain awareness, education, AI, fintech, new technology, science and technology, and knowledge partnership. The two leaders called for strengthening connectivity to boost economic and people-to-people ties and an acceleration in green corridor projects.
Excellency, गर्मजोशी भरे स्वागत के लिए मैं आपका हार्दिक धन्यवाद करता हूं। आपके प्रधानमंत्री पद ग्रहण करने के बाद ये हमारी पहली मुलाकात है। मेरी तरफ से आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई और हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। मुझे विश्वास है 4G के नेतृत्व में सिंगापुर और अधिक तेजी से प्रगति करेगा। एक्सेलेंसी, सिंगापुर केवल एक पार्टनर देश नहीं है। सिंगापुर हर विकासशील देश के लिए एक प्रेरणा है। हम भी भारत में अनेकों सिंगापुर बनाना चाहते हैं और मुझे खुशी है कि हम इस दिशा में मिलकर प्रयास कर रहे हैं। हमारे बीच जो मिनिस्टरियल राउंड टेबल बनी है वो एक पाथ ब्रेकिंग मैकेनिज्म है।
India and Singapore exchanged 4 documents in the areas of digital technology, semiconductor ecosystem, health and medicine and education. The MOU in digital technologies will boost cooperation between India and Singapore in digital public infrastructure (DPI), cybersecurity, 5G and emerging technologies such as supercomputing, quantum computing and artificial intelligence. The MOU on semiconductor ecosystem partnership will encourage cooperation in semiconductor cluster development and cultivation of talent in semiconductor design and manufacturing. The dialogue mechanism set up under this MOU will facilitate investments by Singaporean companies in India. The Pact on Health and Medicine aims to promote closer cooperation in human resource development in healthcare and pharmaceutical sector. It will complement the efforts to promote Indian healthcare professionals in Singapore. The fourth and the last agreement is linked to educational cooperation and skill development. India and Singapore have an active collaboration in the area of skill development. The MOU will complement those ongoing initiatives. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi called on Singaporean President Tharman Shanmugaratnam today Prime Minister of India signed a visitor's book in Singapore's Parliament House, the Parliament House being an important landmark building in Singapore. Prime Minister also met former Prime Minister of Singapore, Goh Chok Tong, who is now the Emeritus Senior Minister of that country. Goh Chok Tong was the second Prime Minister of Singapore from 1990 to 2004. The two Prime Ministers, Prime Minister of India and Prime Minister of Singapore, visited the AEM Holdings Limited semiconductor manufacturing facility in Singapore. They held discussions with the stakeholders on opportunities for collaboration between the two countries in the field of semiconductors. Students from the World Skills Centre of the Eastern Indian state of Odisha welcomed Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the semiconductor company. The students are doing their internship there. You're watching DD India Live, still to come on this show. Another school shooting in the United States leaves 4 dead and 9 injured in a Georgia high school. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually addresses the first International Solar Festival. And India's medal tally so far at the Paris Paralympic Games has risen to 24, India's best ever medal haul.
New challenges need new strategies, and technology is already impacting the way we live and we farm.
Based on the spikes and insights which our algorithms suggest, we alert the farmers or whoever the warehouse owner is about what exactly is happening in which part of your warehouse.
The weather in Meghalaya is definitely one of the center points of how we design these systems. And let's look at all of this together in terms of what are the solar irradiance that they're getting. Try and design a system that is designed to work in that situation.
It's a pretty good living. Greenhouses have improved the lives of 80 or 90% of Almerians.
Our supply chain is farm to door. We supply traders directly, bringing benefits to both.
How it stands at the forefront of this energy transition, offering a clean, versatile solution to decarbonize sectors that have long relied on fossil fuels.
Green hydrogen is actually produced when you use renewable energy to power the electrolyzer, which splits water into hydrogen and oxygen.
Green hydrogen has a very, very critical role to play because it allows us to start getting into solutions that work for a lot of the other energy consuming sectors.
India has some of the brightest people in the world, and the visibility that the government has given in terms of national mission and side programs. So I think others will find the same reasons to invest and grow deeper in building their products.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Russian President Vladimir Putin delivered a keynote speech at the Eastern Economic Forum on Thursday. The forum is an annual economic conference with representatives from over 40 countries. Speaking on Ukraine's incursion, the Russian president said that India, China and Brazil could act as mediators in the potential peace talks over Ukraine.
We respect our friends, partners, who I believe are sincerely interested in resolving all issues related to this conflict. This is primarily the People's Republic of China, Brazil, India. I'm constantly in contact with our colleagues on this issue. And I have no doubt that the leaders of these countries, we have a trusting relationship with them, sincerely strive to help understand all the details of this complex process.
President Vladimir Putin said on Thursday that Russia wants to keep sending gas through Ukraine to Europe. However, he noted that Russia will not force Ukraine to stick to the agreement which ends this year. Putin also mentioned that even though European countries have helped Ukraine with military support, they don't want the gas deal to end. He further said if Ukraine refused transit of Russian gas, then Russia would use Turk Stream gas pipeline under the Black Sea to supply Europe. The vaccinations drive began on Thursday in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza in the second stage of the campaign. Crowds of Palestinians gathered at medical centers to have their children vaccinated against polio. The UN Palestinian Refugee Agency, UNRWA, said the campaign, which has so far seen 187,000 youngsters inoculated, was facilitated by Hamas and Israel agreeing on limited pauses in their fighting. Health officials aim to reach 640,000 Gaza children for vaccinations in a campaign launched after the discovery of a case in which a 1-year-old baby was partially paralyzed. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated that his government will accept a long-term ceasefire in Gaza only if it ensures that a border region between Gaza and Egypt is permanently closed to Hamas, preventing the group from using it as a vital supply route. Netanyahu was referring to the Philadelphia corridor. He cited concerns that international pressure would prevent Israel from regaining control of the area in future.
We're committed to achieving our goals. All 3 goals. Destroying Hamas's military and governing capabilities, releasing all our hostages, and ensuring that Gaza does not become a threat to Israel anymore. And all these require standing firm on the things that will ensure the achievement of these goals. And with God's help, and with our people's will, and with the courage of our soldiers, we'll achieve all goals. And all 3 of those goals, all 3 of them, go through Israel's control of the Philadelphia corridor. And it's obvious why. You want to destroy Hamas's military and governing capabilities, you can't let Hamas rearm. It's obvious. So you have to control the corridor.
On to the US now. Horror struck a high school in Georgia on Wednesday when a 14-year-old student opened fire, killing 2 students and 2 teachers before surrendering. Police said that the teenager suspect surrendered immediately and will be charged as an adult with murder. The accused was investigated last year for threatening to carry out a school shooting. The latest shooting was the first of the new school year in the United States and served as a stark reminder of the threat of gun violence in schools and colleges across the nation. The US has seen hundreds of shootings at schools and colleges in the past 2 decades, with the deadliest resulting in over 30 deaths at Virginia Tech in 2007. US presidential candidate Kamala Harris called the shooting a senseless tragedy.
This is just a senseless tragedy on top of so many senseless tragedies. And it's just outrageous that every day in our country, in the United States of America, that parents have to send their children to school worried about whether or not their child will come home alive. It's senseless. It is, we've got to stop it. And we have to end this epidemic of gun violence in our country once and for all.
The US government said in a statement that President Joe Biden had been briefed on the shooting and that his administration will continue coordinating with federal, state and local officials. White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre said that school shootings are not normal and called on the legislature to pass a law to ban assault weapons and take other such measures.
This is not normal. Students and teachers deserve to know that their schools are safe. They should focus on learning, not lockdowns. While the president and vice president have taken historic action to reduce gun violence, more must be done to keep our schools and communities safe. We continue to call on Congress to do something, We need universal background checks. We need to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, require safe storage of firearms.
The World Bank has approved a $68 million program to prevent Pacific Island nations from being cut off from the international financial system that underpins tourism, trade and aid flows. This announcement was made by World Bank President Ajay Banga on Thursday during his visit to Fiji, the first by a World Bank leader in 50 years. Banga assured Pacific Island leaders of the bank's support amid concerns over losing access to major currencies due to Western banks withdrawing from the region. He also visited a medical center and attended a welcome ceremony with Fiji's Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka. And in New Delhi, the inaugural International Solar Festival 2024, hosted by the International Solar Alliance, is being held. In his message, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the alliance for inspiring policy and action.
In such a short time, the membership of ISA has reached a milestone of 100 countries. Additionally, 19 more countries are ratifying the framework agreement for attaining full membership. The growth of this organization is important for the vision of one world, one sun, one grid. Friends, in the past few years, India has taken many massive strides in green energy. We were the first G20 nation to achieve the Paris commitments in renewable energy. The remarkable growth of solar energy is key reason in making this possible.
The Indian Prime Minister said that the event brings the world together to celebrate the sun. He also said that popular mantras in ancient Indian scripture called Vedas are about the sun.
The Vedas were texts composed thousands of years ago. One of the most popular mantras of the Vedas is about the sun. Even today, millions of Indians chant it daily. Many cultures across the world have respected the sun in their own ways. Most regions also have festivals related to the sun. This International Solar Festival brings the whole world together to celebrate the sun's impact This is a festival that will help us build a better planet.
India's President Draupadi Murmu conferred the National Teachers Award 2024 to 82 selected awardees in New Delhi. Every year, India celebrates 5th September, the birth anniversary of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, as National Teachers' Day. The purpose of the National Teachers Award is to celebrate the unique contribution of teachers in the country. Each award carries a certificate of merit, a cash award of 50,000 rupees and a silver medal. Next, we take a look at other stories making news in India. 6 Naxalites have been killed in an encounter with police in Bhadradri Kotgudam district of Telangana. 2 police commandos sustained injuries during the encounter operation. The bodies of the deceased Naxalites are being shifted to Kotagudem Hospital for autopsy. An Indian Air Force Mi-17 V5 helicopter rescued 4 critically injured individuals from the Pur Sumdo Valley in Uttarakhand after their vehicle plunged into a gorge this morning. The operation was a joint effort with the Indian Army personnel, initially transporting the survivors to the Karcham helipad, from where the Indian Air Force swiftly airlifted them to Shimla, providing medical assistance during the flight. Palesha Govardhan, a para-taekwondo athlete, becomes the first Nepali to officially win an Olympic medal. Returning to Kathmandu from France on Wednesday, Palesha Govardhan got a hero's welcome in the city with an appreciation rally rounding the city. In the Paralympics, Palesha defeated her Serbian competitor in the under 57 kg women's category of Taekwondo K44, thereby clinching the bronze medal. The Kathmandu metropolis also honoured her with a cash prize of 5 lakh rupees. And next, Indian action underway at the Paris Olympics. India's Harvinder Singh bagged a gold medal in para-archery in the individual recurve open event to become the first archer to win gold at the Paralympics. Harvinder Singh defeated an athlete from Poland 6-0 to clinch the gold. With this achievement, Harvinder became the first and only Indian archer to win a gold medal at the Paralympics and secure medals in 2 consecutive editions of the Paralympics. It adds to India's archery success in Paris, where Rakesh Kumar and Sheetal Devi earlier won bronze medal in the mixed team compound open event. In some sad news now, Ugandan Olympic marathon runner Rebecca Cheptegei tragically died on Thursday, days after she was doused in petrol and set on fire by her boyfriend. Cheptegei, who competed in the Paris Olympics, suffered burns to more than 75% of her body in the attack in Kenya on Sunday, making her the 3rd female athlete to be killed in the country since October 2021. In a stunning upset, world number 1 Iga Swiatek crashed out of the US Open after losing to Jessica Pegula in the quarterfinals. The world number 6 Pegula won 6-2, 6-4 in just under 90 minutes, setting up a semi-final against Karolina Muchova of the Czech Republic. She is the 4th American to reach the semi-finals of this year's tournament in New York. It is the first time Pegula has broken through the Grand Slam quarter-final after 6 attempts. In UEFA Nation League champions, Spain will start the defence of their title against Serbia in Belgrade on Thursday. The upcoming match has been overshadowed by the ongoing debate regarding racism in Spain's domestic tournament, La Liga. Head coach Luis de la Fuente responded to comments made by Brazilian superstar Vinicius Jr. in a recent interview in which the Real Madrid forward called for Spain to be stripped of its right to co-host the 2030 World Cup. Portugal and Croatia will kick off their UEFA Nation League campaigns in Lisbon on Thursday. Midfielder Bernardo Silva believes his Croatian opponents will be eager to rectify a disappointing showing at Euro 2024 when they exited a major tournament in the group stage for the first time in a decade. Croatia had previously achieved 3rd place and runners-up finishes at the last 2 World Cups.
Well, about Croatia in the Euros, definitely for sure disappointing for them because with the performance that they had in the previous Euros and World Cups, I think they expected to go a bit further in the competition, and to get knocked out so early, it was for sure frustrating for them. So they will want to give an answer, to give a response to those performances.
So with that, it's a wrap in this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media platforms, Facebook, X and Instagram at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can catch all the latest news and updates on our DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. So we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from my entire team here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.